Okay, y'all. Let's tap in and see what's going on for you. This is another collective reading. There are multiple different routes to be taken. All routes are destined. Let's go ahead and get started with what's coming in next for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and use the Tattoo Tarot today for what's coming in next. Just saw a glimpse of angel number 111. Let's see what comes out today. Multiple paths. Let me go ahead and make sure that this is. Let me go ahead and share for a second. Hold on, y'all. Share out real quick. Don't allow lower vibrational emotions to lead you astray. There's multiple options in terms of your path. Let's see what this Ace of Cups is. The Knight of Wands. We're talking about what you're passionate in, what you're driven towards, okay? So when we're talking about relationships, making sure that you're being guided by your intuition and not necessarily by lust, okay? Making sure that you're utilizing your intuition and going towards connections, projects, and discovering yourself on a more spiritual level, all right? You want to make sure that you're not mirroring any negative energies, or people are not mirroring negative energies to you, okay? So when we're talking about passion projects moving forward, when you're trying to find soulmate connections, you look at that death card in the bottom of the deck. You want to change the dynamic of the connections. You want to change the dynamic of what you're trying to pull in and what you are manifesting outwardly. Angel number 444 for your divine protection, right? That being said, what is coming next is a big energetic shift. There could be an ego death for you guys, okay? When we go through ego deaths, there's certain things that trigger us first. When we become triggered, sometimes it lets us know, like, you know, you may need to heal from this still, or you may need to cut this person off because something is not changing, or you may need to change locations or directions, possibly strategies in order for you to progress. This is all going to evolve your intuition. It's going to enhance your spiritual gifts, okay? So what's coming up next is a certain series of things that are changing. Pay attention to the birds, okay? There are a lot of birds flocking around, all right? For those of you that haven't fed the birds, it's time to feed the birds again, okay? I'm also seeing this energy of like, okay, there's a lot of spiritual tribe energy, all right? Angel number 555, there's going to be a change in the spiritual community from the types of spiritual, let's say, teachers, gurus, advisors. There's going to be a switch. There's going to be a change, let's say a change in roster. There's going to be a change in leadership. There's going to be a change in spiritual businesses, spiritual models, spiritual techniques, strategies. things like that are going to change. This could also be through social media. There could be a lot of changes taking place in the spiritual community, and this is why. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of shifts taking place. So certain people that you were following, you're not going to be following anymore. You're going to be following other people, and it is because of what you're guided to do intuitively. You may click more emotionally, spiritually with other spiritual teachers and advisors versus the ones that you used to, and this is because you're going through another ego death. Okay, I'm literally seeing a bird like coming to my window and looking in. That is hilarious. Okay, so all right, so pay attention to your spiritual birds, okay, because they are trying to get your attention. All right, they're gonna do some really weird stuff to get your attention for you to pay attention to them, okay? Um, Things that they normally don't do, they will do. Um, so if you guys have, those omens through the birds, pay attention to them because they do have something to tell you. That being said, you are also going to find more intriguing spiritual like connections. When I say spiritual connections, it's like even though you don't want to look for it, it's going to be in your face, right? If this is not, I feel a little weird about like the hashtags and stuff like that, but like how social media is with the hashtags and SEO stuff, so that way people can find people. But I feel like there's something here in regards to like something is changing in regards to social media in order for you to find people that you haven't found before or re-engage with people that you maybe it got lost in your timeline or something like that. There's some sort of changes taking place, okay? Especially if there were certain spiritual advisors, teachers, or people in the spiritual community that were in a period of rest, or like let's say just a spiritual transformation within themselves and they had to kind of like take some time off. We're hopping back in, okay? We're not out the game. We just hop right back in. We were in the sidelines for a little bit, recuperating, okay? Let's see what's going on here. So this could be shifting and changing things for you too, based off of like what you are interacting with, engaging with, and things of that nature, okay? Let's see what's going on here. What's coming in next? All right, we have the Five of Swords, and that was in the reverse. It's giving sideways energy, but I'll let you guys know that. Five of Swords usually talks about situations that like unfinished business, okay? There's still unfinished business with things for you from a mental health standpoint. So there's some things that need to close out that will create these energetic shifts for you guys. Five of Swords sometimes comes out as like some conflict, whether it be conflict because of unresolved situations with other people, or whether that will be like internal conflict, okay? It really depends on what's going on for you on a personal level. We have the Three of Swords in the reverse, okay? This definitely talks, and I just saw Angel number 1010. This talks about healing, okay? Three of Swords in the reverse talks about healing, healing the heart, healing the mind, sometimes it's an omen of reconciliation, right? Making amends. So that's what's coming up next. So if there was any bad blood between you and someone else, someone's waving the white flag. If you were holding a grudge on someone and now it's part of your healing journey where you're having an ego death and you're realizing, you know what, it's really not that big of a deal. I shouldn't really hold a grudge against anything. Or you're starting to have that like spiritual upgrade where you're like, you know what, let's transmute that energy and let's bring in some good vibes instead of holding on to that anger and that resentment. Let's bring in some love and light, okay? And if they don't want to dish out the love and light, then I'll love them from a distance and we'll call it quits, right? So it's like a big shift happening, right? Angel number 1111, this is mastery that's taking place right now. That being said, let's go into your current energy, all right? Let's see what's the vibe. What's the vibe? Show me what's the vibe for the Crowllies. All right, we have exhausted and came up in the reverse. So again, when it comes to a lot of different upgrades, okay, we have upgrades. This could be mundane, this could be spiritual, okay, this could be financial. Because exhausted was in the reverse, this lets me know that you're recuperating, okay? You're regaining your energy. Angel number 1212, okay? So you're regaining your energy after burnout, all right? Your cup is being filled again. You're restoring what was lost. You're managing your energy so that way you wouldn't be burned out anymore, okay? And we have apology here. That's funny because it did come up in the reverse, but when I picked it up, it was in the upright. So you're not expecting an apology. Someone's going to apologize to you. You're not expecting it, so it's going to come out of nowhere. Because of the Ace of Cups is here with this apology, I would say someone wants to apologize and start fresh in regards to a relationship. The Ace of Cups sometimes talks about looking at something from a different perspective emotionally, feeling new feelings, new emotions emerging, okay? So when this person apologizes, you're going to feel differently, okay? Not like you would usually react, okay? Maybe perhaps because this person is someone that is arrogant, okay? Because we have arrogant, rash actions, and insincere. So the way this person's coming off, it's taking you by surprise, okay? So let's see what else here. All right, we have wishful thinking. So we have second chance, deja vu, nostalgia, okay? So if you guys are starting to feel a little nostalgic, all right, thinking about some things from the past and things of that nature, this could be coming up next in your energy, all right? Some of you guys are feeling a little antisocial. You don't want to be bothered by other people, or you're trying to isolate. This is because you're trying to restore your energy. Angel number 1414. We have shattered energy for you guys, all right? Some of you guys are having issues sleeping. All right. So I'm not sure if this is like getting rest when you're sleeping, or if this is like sleeplessness, where like you lay down, you try to go to sleep, but you can't go to sleep because your energy is, there's something that happens when you're going through a spiritual ascension or a spiritual like a ego death and stuff like that. So when you go through like a spiritual transformation, you get jittery. Okay. So either you crash out in the middle of the day and you have to take like a severe power nap because you have so much energy throughout like the middle of the night, and then you out sleep. Okay. For others of you, it's kind of like you can stay up for like almost 2 days straight, and then out of nowhere you fall asleep and you didn't even realize that you fell asleep. Okay. This is a part of that spiritual ascension, right? Or this energetic shift that I've been talking about for you guys. For some of you, you're very in tune in regards to your sleep, or like your dream patterns, okay? But you have to kind of, again, distinguish the difference between your subconscious dreams, where your subconscious dreams reveal to you what's going on in your subconscious mind, things that you have to heal, things that were unprocessed, things that, there's no closed book situation on it yet. There's no closure on it yet. And so it keeps reappearing because it does need to get processed. It does need to get healed. It does need to be addressed. Okay. Versus those of you that are getting spiritual omens through your dreams. These are synchronicities and confirmations about things that, are occurring spiritually, that are being sent to you through either your higher self or your spirit guides. Okay. Sometimes it could be your ancestors. It just really depends. And for those of you that are like that, you are gifted in the astral realm. which means that you can astral project, you can remote view, you have particular gifts where, you know, you can go into different dimensions and things of that nature. You're in a meditation state, okay, a meditative state, or if you are, let's say, sleeping, you can astral travel to a different dimension, a different time frame, and things of that nature. Each and every one of you have different gifts. So if you guys would like to have a personal reading to kind of figure out what your specific spiritual gifts are, go ahead and contact me. Go to spiritualsboutique.com and book a reading there with me, okay? But for those of you, again, with those sleep patterns that I'm seeing here, some of you guys, you could be having nightmares or reoccurring dreams that are not as kind. Okay, nightmares doesn't necessarily give it justice because nightmares is usually something scary. Sometimes nightmares with this card with the shattered, it could just be things that just did not end well that keep popping up in your dreams. All right, people keep popping up in your dreams. You have, like, again, there's no closure in the situation. They keep coming up and things of that nature. Okay, this could be like failures that have occurred or fear of failure, things of that nature. So a lot of unprocessed things coming up in the dreams. Okay. So pay attention to that. That's what's coming up. So dream journal, make sure that you pay attention. Okay. Anything else here? Okay. We have masked. Be careful with masking yourself, masking your emotions, okay? Hiding how you really feel. Be careful with people, angel number 1818, that want to hide their true intentions, all right? Approaching you with, like, let's say, sly intentions. They say they want one thing and they're doing something else, or they do something and they say something else, okay? So pay attention with that, okay? Especially for those of you that are still healing from betrayal situations, from frauds, from people that, you know, are vindictive, from people that are manipulative and things of that nature, okay? Because I am seeing that some of you guys are still recovering. I wouldn't necessarily say that you guys are glowing up right now. I would just say that you guys are, look at this, paranoid came up again. And this came up in the last reading for the bottom of the deck energy. So it's still, you know, very relevant for you guys in terms of like why you're so cautious, okay? With people that are approaching you, what their intentions are with you. So with your current energy, I would definitely say that you're regaining back some of the power that you've lost, some of the energy that was taken and siphoned from you. You are restoring some sort of I don't know why I'm hearing respect. Okay, I feel like people are starting to put respect on your name now. People are starting to value you and validate you. Okay. You are in this energy of, you know, it's okay to give someone second chances if they actually have the best intentions. But I do feel like you guys could be in this energy of still being haunted by mistakes that you've made, because of the people that you've let in, or because of the things that you've allowed to take place in your life. Okay. And so you guys could be masking yourselves in regards to, you know, letting people in and letting people know exactly how you're feeling and things of that nature. Because again, some of you guys are healing from manipulators, right? So this paranoia thing could definitely be coming up with, again, with that jittery energy that kind of feels like anxiety. Okay. So some of you guys could have bodily anxiety versus mental anxiety. Bodily anxiety is like physical jitters when your legs start shaking, when your hands start shaking, your body is a little jittery. Some of you guys could be hopped up off of caffeine or something like that. Okay. But you are definitely guarded. All right. We have stagnant energy here. So be careful with you guys having, what is that called? A dopamine crash, having to nap really hard, trying to, just get away from everybody because you kind of feel like you can't really do anything. So you just want to sleep it off. Or you feel like you're stuck in a situation, like you can't do anything. You're at like a checkmate type of deal. Okay. So be careful with that. Something could be a little frozen and stuck for you. That does not mean that it is the end of the situation. It just means that you may need to take a rest break, okay? So remember to take rest breaks. It's very important. Rest breaks are vital, okay? Let's see. Healing. What are you healing from? Let's see, what are you healing from? I'm going to go ahead and pull these again, because you guys are really liking these little cards that I have made myself. We'll see. What are they healing from? What are they healing from? Angel number 2222. So you are guys, you are mastering a lot of things. So don't feel like you're not achieving anything in regards to your healing journey. You are mastering a lot, but it comes like when you're dealing with a lot, you have to juggle a lot, right? You have to make sure you don't drop the ball. So make sure that you are not procrastinating on your healing journey. You're not putting your healing journey on the back burner. You're not putting other people in front of you in regards to healing. Like this is an example of like you want to kind of walk on eggshells around other people on what you should say about certain things in regards to them, but you don't advocate for yourself for how they should be speaking to you, right? Or how they should be treating you and things of that nature. Okay, we have friendship associated with or inner circle. Okay, that being said, you could be healing from something to do with friendship, something to do with your inner circle, or someone associated with friendship. Meaning, you might not consider this particular friend your friend, but they could be a friend of a friend, and therefore, by association, they're your friend, right? Or someone in your inner circle. Okay, you guys could be healing from friendships. Okay, inner circle dynamics, acquaintanceships, okay, situations like that, those type of connections you're healing from, okay, or you're trying to restore. And so that could give you a hint to like maybe someone that could be trying to apologize coming soon. All right. And we have toxic person always brings up your past and judges you with it. Are you serious? Someone has been manipulating you based off of the information that you've told them on what you went through in your past. Okay. These are behaviors that you may see. They are controlling and they won't let you be yourself. Try to change your style. They are selfish. Everything is always about them. They don't make selfless acts. So whenever they make any type of decision, it's because they thought about themselves first and not you. This is something that you're healing from, a toxic person. Okay. And again, it could be in regards to your inner circle or friendship. Okay. What else are they healing from? Gaslighting. Yeah, we have a lot of that in the community. We have a lot of that in the community. There is even spiritual gaslighters. Okay, let me tell you. Especially if like you are a baby in spirituality and you're like taking your first few steps and you're trying to figure out like, oh, how do I heal and how do I do this ritual and how do I remove this person from my energy and how do I manifest? There's spiritual gaslighters too. Those spiritual gaslighters are the ones that are the scam artists, the ones that do not want to heal themselves and they want to siphon people's energy and destiny swap and things of that nature. Some of you guys could have been through that situation too. All right. We have phase 4 of gaslighting, and this bleeds back into the previous reading. So you guys should check out the previous reading. If you did not, there could be some, connected dot situations on this reading and that reading. Okay. We have phase 4 of gaslighting, the silent treatment, pulling away from you. They will make you question everything. Did I do something wrong? Or is something wrong with me is what always comes up. All right. Leading you to desire closure with this particular person, when in reality they were the one that created the gaslighting situation. All right. They could have formed an emotional codependent attachment with you, or vice versa. And this is what you're healing from. All right. Then we have toxic person, keeping your emotional guard up with them at all times because misery loves company. Be warned. All right. So that being said, you're healing from a person that they're going through a really tough time. So you have to go through that tough time with them. You have to prove to them that you're going to, be in the bottom with them, scrape it up all the way to the top type thing. When in reality, you're not in that same type of level or frequency, but they want you to be solidary with them. And so therefore, if they're struggling and they're eating struggle meals, then you're struggling and you're eating struggle meals with them, right? If you don't have money, they don't have money. If you have money, you better cough up that money to them because they want to have that money with you, right? It doesn't always have to be negative. It could also be, leeching off of your success, leeching off of your kindness, leeching off of your consideration and all the things that you have to offer, right? So be careful with those people that only think about themselves, toxic people. All right. This is probably what you're healing from, especially in regards to, again, inner circle dynamics, friendships, or the people associated with your friend that could be toxic, that can also impact you, right? Maybe it's not your friend. Maybe your friend is associated with someone else and it's their inner circle. And by associating with them, now that is impacting you. All right. Put it where it fits. What's going on here? What else are they healing from? All right, we have hidden intentions, okay? This is exactly why you guys are in this energy of being paranoid. The hidden intentions is real, okay? You have blurred lines sometimes, all right? Sometimes you think in your head, well, maybe this is just one of my insecurities. Maybe this is just something that I need to heal. Maybe I'm overthinking this, right? Maybe I'm just too guarded, all right? But in reality, your intuition starts telling you certain things, right? Whenever your intuition and your shadow self start partnering up, you best believe somebody got some hidden intentions. Because if your intuition is telling your shadow self to shut up, then you don't have anything to worry about. But if your intuition and your shadow self start hand in hand attacking a particular situation or a person, you best believe they have hidden intentions. All right. They want to keep the connection going. All right. I mentioned this in a couple different previous readings. All right. Someone wants to keep a connection going. Right. That means that you're trying to cut off a connection and here they come trying to reconcile. Here they come, try to make amends. Here they come, try to kiss your, okay. All right. Their true intentions is they're regretting losing you. They're regretting it. They realize that they didn't mean what they said. Meaning this person, again, thinking about themselves, would say anything out of their mouth. They're impulsive, okay? They'll say whatever, okay? And they realize that they said or they did something. And now they're beating themselves up in regards to that action or that statement that they said to you. Whatever conversation they had last with you, they're regretting it because they let you go. Or you let them go. You broke up with them. You canceled the connection, okay? You broke the contract, whatever it was. And now they're regretting losing you and they want to keep the connection going, all right? And it's toxic. Why would it be toxic? It's toxic because you want to let it go for your self-improvement. They want to keep it going because it benefits them, not you. That's why it's toxic, okay? Again, with the hidden intentions. This is 2 omens of hidden intentions, you guys. Pay attention. Hidden intentions, okay? Now we have, again, wants to keep the connection going, all right? For some sort of particular security, for security purposes. They want your presence in their life so they can have a confidant or support system of some sort. But this means that this person uses you as a support system, but they don't come around and help you. They don't help you. Angel number 3131 equates to 44. Okay? This person does not help you. They don't help you in your self-improvement. They don't help you in your healing journey. They don't help you when you're down. Okay? But they expect you to help them when they're down. Wants to keep the connection going. Okay? Their true intentions is unresolved feelings. All right? I talked about unresolved feelings. So these are some things that you need to heal within yourself. So that way, you know, as above, so below, as within, so without, right? In your healing journey. If you heal these triggers, if you heal these insecurities, these particular types of people won't be able to control you. They won't be able to manipulate you. They won't be able to use you, because you'll be able to see that not just from a healed mindset, but from a higher consciousness, okay? They want to keep their options open when seeing other people or when befriending other people, while keeping you close at arm's reach, okay? Trying to run right back to the connection because of their own romantic desires or their own emotional intentions, okay? Pay attention to that. So these are the things that you guys are still currently healing from. You're still healing, all right? Let's see where you're getting your assistance from. And we're going to go ahead and use the herbal astrology for that.